that self-doubt just is not there.
That's great. That's great. Uh, do you have any women leaders, and this is on the world space, that you look up to?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. Yes, there are several. And at the same time, I would say that for me, the leadership piece is not just about holding a position that's recognized as leadership. That is very important. I mean, we definitely need to see more women in visible positions that are recognized as positions of leadership. However, I think it's just as important for women in all of their roles to step into that position of leadership. And the interesting thing about leadership is that one thing I've learned, Haresh, about leadership is that very often people who have influence and are able to create positive change are not in official positions. Right? It's a very interesting thing about power and influence. It works in many, many different ways. And very often people who are, this is not just about women, by the way, this applies very much to people across genders. Often people who have a lot of influence, they stay out of the limelight and they create those influence in many, many different ways. Having said that, I do think it's very important for visibility of women, that we have visibility of women leaders. You know, one of the things you mentioned, the thousands of years of history that we have to undo, and you're absolutely right. The truth is that women have been written out of history. Women have been making massive contributions in every single field of human endeavor. Absolutely, but they have been systematically written out of history. So we need to address that as well. And then, you know, so that's something I'm very keen on, is I want to change the narrative, because we're very used to the narrative of, you know, women have been repressed and we need to change that. Yes, that is true, but it is also true that we have many, many examples of women throughout history, right around the world, of women who have made massive contributions and have been leaders. And we need to emphasize that, because that will help women and girls to recognize, I can do that as well.
Mhm. Yes, that's very well put. But any mentions of those leaders?
She's not in an official position of leadership, but I think Meghan is quite a remarkable and very interesting woman for what she has achieved. Of course, in the States, we have people like Alexandria-Ocasio-Cortez. I think Hillary Clinton is a very interesting character, and the book that she wrote after she lost the election is a fascinating read. And interestingly, when I read that, I opened it and I read the first opening quote in the first chapter, and I knew then, I thought, if I was coaching her, I could tell her exactly why she lost that election, just from reading the opening sentence. So I think that, yeah, there are many, many others, particularly of course, in the world of Indian dance and music, who I think have made phenomenal contributions.